Now, in order to talk about Brand New Day, we have to talk about the rest of the Tom Holland movies. Now, for those of you who haven't watched Spider-Man Brand New Day, I recommend not watching this video. One, because as someone who watches spoilers for a lot of movies, as someone who consumes that type of content, even when I haven't watched movies, because I am very guilty of it, I don't recommend watching this video if you have not finished the movie. If you haven't watched the movie, it has such a high impact onto that part of humanity that just calls you to be a better person, that it just wouldn't be fair of me to talk about it without you having watched it. So, if you haven't watched it, click off this video. And if you have, welcome to the Spider-Man Club. Come on in. Now, in order to talk about Spider-Man Brand New Day, we have to talk about the other Spider-Man movies. Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home, Spider-Man No Way Home, Spider-Man Fortnite Chapter 3. I'm looking at it right now. It's on his IMDb for some reason. That's Spider-Man When Are We Gonna Get Home? Spider-Man Jesus Christ, I'm in space. That's not my home. And of course, Spider-Man Damn. Now, as we all know, in all of these movies, Tom Holland's Peter Parker, is a teenager. He's like in high school, and he's like building up this web, in lack of a better term, of support with everyone around him. It wasn't like any other Spider-Man that we've seen. When we watched Tobey Maguire, he had already, like, in the first movie, within the first like 20 minutes, you see him lose Uncle Ben, and that starts off his journey, right? And then like you see him lose other people, and you see him become a good person because of the shame that Uncle Ben brings by him not doing what he could have done in order to save people. Same with Andrew Garfield. Andrew Garfield was an amazing Spider-Man. He was way too attractive to be Peter Parker. Like, he was way too old attractive. I don't know if he's like in the same boat as the guy from the Maze Runner in levels of like Spider-Man Brand New Day messy super fan. Okay, sorry. Anyway, I got distracted by the IMDb again. And same thing, like, I think Uncle Ben had died. No. In Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, like, his parents died, and that's what caused him to, like, and then he got his powers and everything. And, like, honestly, that whole two movies, like, they were great, but they weren't very, like, I don't know how to describe them, but when I watched them, I didn't think about Spider-Man. I thought it was a good action movie, and I thought it was a good superhero movie, but I wasn't thinking, like, quintessential Spider-Man. Because what Spider-Man means to me is someone who will always do the right thing no matter what. And as much as I love Andrew Garfield, he wasn't that. Like, he was witty and he was sarcastic and he was an asshole, and he was lazy in those movies. Not Andrew Garfield, but Peter was lazy in those movies because he got too cocky, because he thought he knew better, because he thought he could do better. And because of those things, that's what caused him to lose the people that he lost. And he that's one thing about Peter Parker that I feel like he did right. He overextended himself. And I feel like Tom Holland's Spider-Man probably did that better than anyone. In the first three movies, we see him go from being your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man to fighting Captain America, to going back to being the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, to more people knowing about his secret identity, to all of this stuff. And in the last one, Spider-Man No Way Home, you see him start to overextend himself to the point where he can't do it anymore. And while the other Peters had a lot of shame in who they were, and a lot of shame for what happened, when Aunt May died, while he did feel shame that he couldn't save her, that support system that for the last two movies were being built up, Ned, you have MJ, you have his friends, you have his teachers, you have Iron Man. And I know, of course, he lost Iron Man. Besides the case, he had a whole giant web of support that he could fall back on. And even when he lost that pivotal like character that was his Uncle Ben, you know, his Aunt May, and it's with great power comes great responsibility. He wasn't alone, which is why he didn't really feel like Spider-Man. He didn't really feel like Peter Parker. He didn't feel like that kid that had no one, that was lost. And to me, that's what Spider-Man has always been. He's been a lost kid trying to do his best despite everything going on around him. And it is making me a little emotional because he's my favorite superhero ever. Like, you don't understand how much I love this superhero. You don't understand how much he means to me. How much he means to most Spanish and black and, like, basically anyone who has ever been othered, anyone who's ever felt alone, anyone who has tried to be the best that they can be and still suffered consequences because they haven't reached that level of being able to help people the way that Peter Parker does, can relate to him, because he's what we all want to be. We want to be strong. We want to be able to help people. We want to be able to grow a community. We want to be able to connect with people in a way that Peter Parker does. And Spider-Man Brand New Day did that better than any movie I've ever seen. This movie changed the game. Going forward, any Spider-Man that will ever be has to be at least as good as Spider-Man Brand New Day, because it is the best movie, the best Spider-Man movie that I've ever seen. In the beginning of the movie, Peter starts off with no one, right? Everyone's forgotten him. No one knows who he is. He has that little coffee cup filled with the Greek writing, and he has the phone number of a police chief. I think it's the police chief. I'm not exactly sure. And that's it, right? He does his job as Spider-Man, and he continues to do his job as Spider-Man, and that's all he is. He is not Peter Parker. I'm the guy who wants everyone to be okay, Spider-Man. I'm the guy that wants, if even for a moment, to feel like he's part of something greater, Spider-Man. I'm the guy that even if I am beaten and broken and bruised, I will make little quips and I will make little jokes in order to provide levity to everyone in this situation. I got hit with bricks. I'm bruised. I'm battered. Hey, I'm going to make a little quip. I'm going to make a little joke because I have people behind me that are scared because they're in a situation that they've never been in before and their adrenaline is running, and I have to provide some levity to this so they feel okay. And I I get it, because that's what I do, right? If someone's in a stressful situation, I'm going to make jokes because that provides relief. If someone has gone through a traumatic event, I'm going to provide that relief because that's the best you could do for those people. Like, there's no need to bring a situation down that's already bad as it is. I had someone really close to me lose someone recently, and I was there for the funeral, and she was devastated. Her mom meant a lot to her, and she meant a lot to me. And even though everybody was like, oh, I'm so sad, blah, 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 I had to crack jokes. And not jokes like out of place jokes. Just something to bring light to the situation. And it worked. Because by the time I left, because this was in another country, by the time I left, she was feeling a lot better than at the beginning. Because she had no one, and she didn't have that levity. And everybody was just being miserable around her, and she had to have all of that on her shoulders. Spider-Man sees the best in the worst people, in everyone. This movie really shows it. Jean Grey, the antagonist. Also, I'm going to have my thoughts scattered around. If you don't like that kind of review, then don't click on this video. That's okay. There's all types of reviews, but this is me. Jean Grey, the central antagonist to this movie, was a kid, right? She's a teenager who was misunderstood, abused by the government. Oh, what a situation. Or sorry, the damage control, which is essentially part of the government. Let's be honest, right? Like, experimented on and almost tortured to death. And she could have killed all of those people. And the reason she didn't wasn't because Frank almost shot her. It was because she went into Peter's mind and she saw a bruised and broken boy who lost someone so incredibly important to him. And inside that memory, inside of him, was just the best of her. Was the memory of Aunt May telling him how much he's loved. Because that's what Peter Parker is. That's what Spider-Man is, right? That no matter how shitty and terrible everything around him is, he still believes that people can be good. And even when he was going through his transformation, as soon as he, like, because everyone has emotional outbursts. Everyone hurts people sometimes. And he did. He hurt, Scorpion, and he accidentally hurt that cop. But it was, like, immediately like, oh, shit. And he tried to cure himself of this because he didn't want to hurt any more people. And he's alone. And he's miserable. And he's still trying his best. And I don't know how much more Spider-Man you can get than this Spider-Man. Like, if you've watched the movie, maybe you were in another movie, but, like, one, the cinematography was amazing. The shot compositions, the way he fought, like, I think it's called the hand or the foot. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but the red guys, like, when he did the twirly web scene near the end, amazing cinematography. And I know, like, it was just great, right? The fight with the Hulk, and I'm pretty sure that there's only one. They said in an interview there's only one person that recognizes Peter for Peter, and that's the Hulk, not Bruce Banner, but the Hulk. And they didn't say it was the Hulk, but they said it was one person. I'm pretty sure it was the Hulk, just because the Hulk isn't Bruce Banner, right? They're two different personalities. I don't think the Hulk would have been affected the same way by this spell that Bruce Banner would have, because he wasn't open, like he wasn't like alive, you could say, while the spell was cast. Love the dynamics between Spider-Man and Frank, and by Frank I mean the Punisher, because it's so nice and refreshing seeing the Punisher be like, oh, this kid who brings out the best in people has Frank acting like a kid. He wears the mask. He makes jokes. He has that banter. Like, the fact that this guy who's lost his wife and his kids and has murdered dozens of people, and several years ago was like this man who was just on a mission and he just didn't care about anything, is sitting there with this kid and making jokes with him and asking him and genuinely caring about him, shows that Peter brings out the best in people, because he does. He brings out the best in me. He brings out the best in you, hopefully, and he brings out the best in everyone around us. And even though he's a character that was made up, that was fictional, Stan Lee made this character in order for everyone to be seen, because everyone feels alone. Everyone feels like they want to be a part of something, and everyone wants to care. Deep down, that's what we all are as humans. And Peter is the most human to ever exist. And this movie, this Spider-Man Brand New Day, brings out the best in Spider-Man. It brings out the best in Peter Parker. And I'd say it brings out the best in people. And that's my review of Spider-Man Brand New Day. And I know I didn't talk about the whole movie, and I didn't do this 50-minute long review, but I just wanted to talk about how amazing this movie was. Because I've seen some people say, like, oh, like this Spider-Man, oh, this movie, oh, this. You guys need to understand what Spider-Man is. A kid from New York who's out here helping people, New York of all places, where everyone's the fuck you guy, is something that we all need. It's something that we all need to be, right? It doesn't matter what city, it doesn't matter what country, it doesn't matter who you are. The world could use more Peter Parkers. And every movie that comes out that shows that little glimmer of hope, Superman did the same thing. It makes people believe a little bit more. And I hope that it makes people act a little bit better. Because in a world where the government wants to tear us apart, these movies bring us a little bit closer together. Thank you for listening to my Spider-Man Brand New Day rant/review. And I appreciate you all for watching. And take care of yourselves.